Hello, thanks for joining me for the weekly dose of Emuna for Shabbat Kodesh, a short audio lesson that injects Emuna into our Shabbat. Today we're going to talk about the fact that Shabbat is beyond all materialism of this world. You see, it makes sense that Shabbat is going to be a perfect sense, a peaceful feeling of redemption, a taste of the world to come, which is another reason why we do not engage in work or specifically in any business activities on Shabbat Kodesh. Shabbat represents a world where there's no business competition, and that ruthless rat race to success has no part in our Shabbat. Because it's a peaceful world. It's a taste of the forthcoming final redemption, God willing. In fact, as we shouldn't even handle money on Shabbat because of the status of what it's called to be muktzah. Muktzah, in essence, means it just doesn't belong as part of the Shabbat atmosphere and environment. It's excluded as part of the Shabbat feel because it has no place. Money is not part of the foretaste of the world to come. The world to come is a world without struggle, without jealousy. It's far removed from money and from money making and all that comes from within it. You see, Shabbat in itself is a day of total spirituality. And as long as Shabbat prevails, there is no deceits that can be perpetrated Shabbat. There's no money handling, there's no business dealings. It's all peaceful intervention one with the other. And that in itself brings us to a place where we have a very different set of value of how we evaluate people. Because in today's world, in the 6 days of the work week, everything is judged and valued by how much money we have. In other words, how much am I really worth? It's a world in which possessions are put above the person. That has no room on a peaceful day of redemption, of a perfected world of peace and unity. In fact is, no matter how needy anybody is, no one remains hungry on Shabbat. It's a feeling of equality where everybody is part of the royal status of being part of the Jewish nation. Shabbat is here, and no money in the world can equal her value. Shabbat is first in the lives of the Jewish people. It's a day where no money can come and disturb it and interfere and cause a barrier between us and the value of equality between all of the Jewish people. So Be'ezrat Hashem, may we elevate our Shabbat and it become holy enough where we see all of our brethren as equal, and that we elevate ourselves so that we all see ourselves as being part of royalty and part of the spiritual world that Hashem intended when He created this world, and distance ourselves as much as possible from the materialism that causes a blockage between us and our relationship with a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Have a great Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.